What's up everybody, and today we are reacting to 20 wilderness survival tips and bushcraft skills. This is by TA Outdoors. When I was young, I used to be absolutely obsessed with bushcraft skills and survival skills. I used to watch a lot of Ray Mears and Bear Grylls, which actually I've got a signed picture of Bear Grylls around here somewhere. It's around here somewhere. Maybe I'll show it next time. Anyway, I used to be obsessed with it, and obviously I went into the Royal Marines and we learned some incredible survival skills from the mountain leaders. If you guys don't know who the mountain leaders are in the Royal Marines, check them out. They're some of the best soldiers in the world. Hands down, they're incredible. And we learned some incredible survival skills. We did some different exercises. Were really, really fun. And I feel like when I left the Royal Marines, a bit of a pushback, I kind of disconnected from nature, and with that, I also lost my passion for bushcraft and survival. And I feel like since starting this new bus conversion, which if you don't know, me and my wife are converting a school bus and traveling the US. It's a big way of me trying to reconnect back to nature, and this kind of passion for survival and bushcraft is slowly creeping back into my life again, which I think is really cool, and I'm really, really excited for. Which reminds me, if you want to check out more about the bus conversion, link down below to OriginalAdventures. It's the new YouTube channel and Instagram where me and my wife are converting the bus and vlogging the whole thing, so definitely check that out. And I think we're going live tomorrow doing a Q&A over there, so definitely go and subscribe over there. But also link down below to this video, 20 wilderness survival tips and bushcraft skills by TA Outdoors. Definitely go and check out, link down below, like the video, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm sure this guy definitely deserves it. But for now, let's have a look. It's 20 minutes long, so I'm going to break this in half. And we'll just go from there, guys, okay? So for now, let's shut up and let's react to this. Let's see what he has to say.
The world we live in has changed dramatically in the last few months. With millions of us adapting to life under lockdown, many are struggling with self-isolating and social distancing.
True.
Now is as good a time as any to put your mind to something and develop your knowledge of nature and the outside world.
That's true.
We need to go back to basics, to reset the clock and focus on what really matters. We need to learn from this. In this video, I'm going to show you 20 survival tips that might help you when you find yourself out in the wilderness.
I think he makes a good point there. Obviously, the whole of 2020 was an absolute shit show, wasn't it, to be honest with you? Everyone was feeling that, and I feel like that might be another reason why I'm kind of pushing back into nature and really kind of thriving and craving the outdoors. So yeah, I think he's spot on there. I think we do need to go back to basics and learn some of this stuff.
Before I get into it, I'd like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring the episode.
Fair
Skillshare is an online learning community that provides thousands of courses and inspiring classes for those people looking to be creative.
Let's just push forward a little bit here, shall we?
With the birth of my full-time job, I've been watching Greg McKeown's class on simple productivity and how to accomplish more. There's a variety of different classes on Skillshare description box to help you explore your
obviously go and check out that as well in his description.
Creativity. And after that, it's only around $10 a month. This fungus can take, also known as
gone too far. Here we go.
Goldinia
Okay.
concentrica. The crumpled fungus, also known as the coal fungus.
This is like coal.
It can be found on dead or decomposing ash trees. When dry, this fungus can take a spark from a ferrocerium rod, and it can burn for many hours.
What?
As well as its use in firelighting, it can also be used as a mosquito repellent.
So I feel like his knowledge of that there was more knowledge about nature than it is about survival. His knowledge of knowing what an ash tree is, knowing what fungi to find on that ash tree. So I feel like his knowledge about this survival tip is more about nature than it is about survival.
Simply split the top of a stick into 4 using your knife. Use small sticks to wedge it open. Place your smouldering crumpled fungus inside and cover with moss.
Yeah.
This will create a pungent smoke, which will deter flying bugs from your camp.
It's really cool.
These bug torches can burn for many hours and can be moved from place to place.
I am getting like a modern day Ray Mears. I mean, it looks nothing like Ray Mears, but like a modern day kind of Ray Mears, like the way he's filming this. Really enjoying it, guys. This guy's really good at what he's doing.
The humble tin can. It has many uses in the survival world. Snap off the ring pull by gently moving it backwards and forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Break one end of the ring and bend it 90 degrees.
Fishing hook, maybe?
Using a stone, sharpen the tip by rubbing it against the rough surface to create a sharp point. Now you have a makeshift fishing hook.
Solid bit of advice
Tie this
right
to
there.
some string or fishing line. Bait it up with worms, grubs or maggots.
So just to give you guys a bit of context about what we learned in the Royal Marines, we have like a small tin, about yay big, and we sew it to the inside of our jacket so you can't actually get into it. And it's there specifically just for survival needs, right? So if you end up being in a scenario where you are in trouble, that tin can is there. And some of the stuff that's in there involves fishing line with a little hook. You also have a bunch of other stuff like a tampon in there because the amount of cotton that comes from a tampon is crazy, and you can use that for lighting fires. Water purifying tablets, a little sweet just for morale. What else is in there? A condom, because condoms can hold an ungodly amount of water, and a few other little bits and bobs like a wire saw, just in that tin can, staying nice and safe, just in case you need them. So yeah, this just reminded me of that. I've not even remembered that in a long time.
And you are good to go. The rest of the tin can can be used to make a candle lantern or stove.
Okay.
Using your knife and some gloves so you don't cut yourself, cut down the length of the tin can. Then make 2 more cuts across the top and the bottom of your first cut. It should form the shape of a capital I. Gently fold out the side walls of the can and you have a candle lantern with built-in wind deflectors.
Okay.
If you need to cook food or boil water, simply light a fire and add twigs to the stove. Place your cooking container on top and just keep feeding twigs to keep the fire going.
That's a solid bit of skill right there, using a tin can for that. I like that. I like that a lot.
You can get a much stronger flame by facing the opening of the tin can towards the wind. The extra oxygen being forced into the fire will result in a more efficient burn.
Yep.
Many coniferous trees produce resin, a sticky glue-like substance which helps the tree protect itself
Resin can be used for a lot of different things.
from various pests and heal any wounds from broken branches. You can collect the white resin using your knife or a stick. I would recommend using a stick, as the resin is hard to get off your knife.
Meanwhile, he's doing it with a knife. Yeah, he's probably that. He's probably washing that thinking, I'm going to have to tell everyone how hard this is to wash off.
Collect it in a metal container. A tin can works well. Put this on the fire and wait for it to melt. Once melted, it will look like black tar. This is called pitch. It is very flammable due to the high levels of resin. When it has cooled slightly, begin moulding it around a small stick. You can use your hand once it is cool enough to do so. Once it has completely cooled, it will go rock hard. This is nature's primitive glue. You can take it with you in your camping kit and melt it back down again whenever you need it. I used some recently to weather seal the mortise and tenon joints on the Anglo-Saxon house that we have been constructing. There's a
Holy
link to
cow!
this series in the video description.
Holy cow, look at that! Wow! I need to watch that. This guy is good. Holy cow. That's incredible. Look at that house. This guy's good. I did not expect to be this impressed. But this guy's very good.
If you find yourself in the woods and you have no cup to drink or collect water from, then fear not. You can fashion one out of a stick. Find a stick or small log with a diameter of around 3 inches
Okay.
and a height of roughly 6 inches. Place your knife blade down the middle of the wood and carefully batten it down until the blade cuts through. Before you split the log entirely, make another cross-section cut at 90 degrees to the one you just made. Now split the log into 4 separate pieces. Number each individual piece of the log on the underside using a pen, charcoal, or a stick wiped in mud.
I like how he, even though he's got the knife, he's still, you know, implying that you might not have a pen around because you're in a survival situation. So he's giving you even them little bit of tips that you didn't expect. I like that. It's just as if the only thing he has is a knife, and I like that.
This will help you piece them back together again when it comes to finishing the cup.
Okay.
On each individual piece, saw a groove about an inch above the bottom of the
Oh,
cup.
so he has a saw as
Then
well
use your
then.
knife to split the inner parts of the quarters off. Tidy these cuts up afterwards to make sure they are smooth and even. Now, when you put the pieces back together again, you will have a cavity. Fasten the cup together with some cordage. Here I am using bank line and a simple lashing.
Okay.
Make a loop, wrap your cordage around this loop, pass the tag end through the loop and pull it down into the lashing. There is a more detailed video on this on my channel.
This guy's, I'm really, really impressed. And I'm definitely getting Ray Mears vibes from him because he's got skills here that you don't even think of. You know someone's really, really good with bushcraft when they look outside the box, basically. They really kind of impress you with their knowledge. Like, it's the stuff that I learned in the Royal Marines, I learned some really good stuff from Mountain Leaders. I really did. But when you go through that training and you're still impressed by someone and what they can make, you know they're very good. This guy is very knowledgeable.
Now the cup is finished. Double check there are no gaps by holding it up to a light background such as the sky. Your cup will definitely leak slightly, as water always finds the easiest route. However, if you submerge it in water for a few hours, the wood will absorb this water, expand, and close the gaps.
Amazing.
Hand sanitizer is in high demand these days.
Amazing. So he's even thought about how to close up gaps. I bet you could use that. Well, could you use that resin that he made to glue it together as well, like to stop the seals? I don't know, because maybe it's not the best like for edible stuff, but I don't know.
But it has more uses than just keeping your hands clean from the Rona. Alcohol-based sanitizers contain varying amounts and types of alcohol, often between 60% and 95%. The one I am using here has a high percentage of ethanol, a flammable substance.
Yep.
Squirt some of this gel onto some wood and ignite it with a match or lighter.
You're not going to be able to see the flame
Although
though.
it looks invisible, there is actually a flame there.
Yeah.
This is because ethanol burns with a smokeless blue flame.
Yeah.
It is not always visible in normal light. Hold a couple of sticks above it for a few seconds, and before you know it, you will have yourself a fire.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus, there's a fire. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, I am 100% subscribed. Notifications turned on for this guy. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this guy now.
If you find yourself in the wilderness and you have no cordage, nature can provide. The roots of many conifer trees grow relatively shallow, even more so in densely populated woodlands.
Yep.
Where these trees are fighting for light. Simply use a stick and dig down a few inches until you find a root. Follow the root along and gently pull it up.
Yep.
Take off the rigid outer layer of the root using 2 sticks.
Okay.
This will expose the flexible inner layer. You can make the root even more flexible by further splitting it down with a knife.
Yep.
You can then take this one step further by bashing the roots with a stick to break up the fibres. If you soak them in water for an hour or so, this will make it easier to tie knots with. You can use the root as it is for a simple binding, or you can weave 2 or 3 roots together to make 2 or 3 ply rope.
Yep. You can also make rope out of nettles in England. That's a very easy way to make rope, and it's kind of a similar way. If I'm honest with you, you strip the leaves, you've got the stem, and you do the same type of thing, basically batten it down and all that good stuff.
This will be much stronger than just the root on its own. Use the roots to lash sticks together when building bushcraft shelters or making primitive traps.
Yeah.
If
Damn,
you
look
can't
at
get
that.
a fire going because the wood is wet, split it down to expose the dry inner wood.
Yep.
Using your knife at a shallow angle, gently carve off thin strips like a feather. Keep these feathers on the stick. Place your fire steel or ferro rod against the flat side of the stick and shower sparks onto the thin feathers.
Boom, there you go.
Doing
Fire.
it in this way means that you do not flick your wood shavings elsewhere and end up getting them wet. Gently rotate the stick to allow the flame to crawl up the wood shavings and get stronger. Quick tip, note that I made very small curls at the base of the stick when I finished. This is so that they are more likely to ignite when using a ferro rod.
Yep.
Clematis
One
is a
more.
climbing vine that is
One
commonly
more.
found in deciduous woodlands here in the UK. It has many uses. If you find yourself in the woods with no backpack or carrying container, you can fashion a basket using the vine of the clematis. You will often find it climbing up a large tree. Pull the vine down, but note, don't take the whole plant. 1 or 2 vines is all you need. You will need to gather various diameter of vine.
This guy's gonna make a whole basket. This guy's gonna make a whole basket right now.
The main frame of the basket needs to be about 1 to 1.5 inches thick, and then some smaller, thinner ones are needed for the weave. Firstly, make a spider-like structure with 3 pieces of the large vine. Then, using the thinner diameter, weave in and out, going diagonally across the large vine each time.
I'm really
Once you
impressed.
have your main framework in place, you can begin your weave. Start with the thin vines and weave over and under the thick vines. Once you have weaved an area for the base of the basket, you can begin to use the thicker vines weaved in and out to create the basket itself.
Right. So he's using the thicker vines to pull the harder parts, like the more tensioned parts of the bigger sticks. Yeah, I get it. It's cool.
Finally, cut off the ends of the thick vine, or fold them back into the basket, and leave 2 opposite ends remaining. These can be lashed together to make a carrying handle.
Look at that.
And now you have yourself a basket.
You go shopping at
which you could use for
Tesco's.
carrying your gear or harvesting wild edibles.
Yep.
If you have the need,
Alright, we're going to end it there. We'll leave the rest for another video. If you guys do enjoy my reaction to this particular video or bushcraft videos in general, let me know by liking the video and commenting down below. And if I see enough likes and comments, I will definitely react to the second half of this. This guy knows his stuff. This guy's brilliant, like genuinely brilliant. And again, I've had some good survival training from the mountain leaders in the Royal Marines. It's not the best in the world, but I know that the tips they did give us would 100% help us survive in some really bad situations. And me going through that and remembering the majority of it, not all of it, and seeing someone that still impresses me a bunch just goes to show how amazing they are. It really does. And again, I'm starting to fall in love with bushcraft and survival again. I actually just ordered a new book by Ray Mears, who was my idol back in the day. And I think that understanding these skills about nature helps you respect nature a little bit more, and being out in nature in general also helps your mental health and a bunch of other different things for your own mind and body. So I highly recommend getting outside and practicing some of this stuff and enjoying nature, guys, because it's out there for us to play, and sometimes we get stuck inside watching YouTube or playing games. So I know I'm personally trying to get outside more, especially now that summer is coming up and that the Rona is hopefully dying down a little bit, guys. All right, so get outside, enjoy nature, go for a nice hike, see some awesome scenery, and climb some mountains. That's what I suggest. I will leave a link down below to the original video. Please go over there, subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. He definitely deserves it. This guy is an absolute genius about bushcraft and the outdoors, so definitely go do that. Members, you're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. I honestly couldn't make videos every single day if it wasn't for these members right here. So thank you for supporting the channel as much as you do. I truly appreciate it. Don't forget, if you're looking to see things about being outdoors more, me and my wife are converting a school bus and traveling the United States, seeing some incredible different national parks and stuff. Head over to OriginalAdventures, link down below to the YouTube and the Instagram, where we'll be vlogging the whole thing, vlogging the transformation of the school bus, and then vlogging the travels around the US. We've got books on state parks, national parks and stuff. We're really excited to see some incredible scenes like the Grand Canyon, and some other amazing like Niagara Falls and a bunch of other cool stuff. And if you want to join us, links down below to that. Links down below to my socials, including the 2 links to Discord, the military link and the geek link. Also link down below to my podcast and my Twitch stream, where I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. Today I'm streaming at 12 o'clock noon Eastern time. I don't know what I'm playing. It's either going to be Battlefield 1 again, which I really enjoyed, or Outriders, which I haven't started yet. It's going to be one of them two. Also link down below to my second channel, Original Human Geek, where we play D&D and a bunch of other really fun stuff. So yeah, until next time, guys, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.